And they're off. As they make the run towards the first, Leopardstown on the near side of Bust Out. They're followed by Early and Pete. Couple of lengths to Istabraq, running 4 ahead of the grey Rostropovich. Dropped in the back mark of the 6 is Penny Rich as they head on now towards the first flight. And Early and Pete has raced up now to pick up the running for Paul Maloney to go on from Leopardstown. Then comes Bust Out, Istabraq, Rostropovich, and Penny Rich, the back marker. Out over the first flight and up now to pass the stands. And as they come towards the winning post, it's Early and Pete who leads by 4 to 5 lengths to Leopardstown in second. Bust Out running 3, and then Istabraq, Rostropovich, and Penny Rich. They race on towards the second. Early and Pete and Paul Maloney, 5 in front of Leopardstown and Ruby Walsh. Then similar margin to Bust Out and Barry Geraghty. Then Istabraq and Charlie. And Leopardstown is a faller and has almost brought down Bust Out. Barry Geraghty did well to keep the partnership intact, but Leopardstown down. Happily, both her and her partner Ruby Walsh quickly on their feet. So on now towards the third, and that's Early and Pete and Paul Maloney out in front, being followed by Istabraq, and then comes Bust Out, having recovered from that earlier interference. On the outside is Rostropovich, and Penny Rich is the back marker of the 5. So they turn now after jumping 3. They've got a long run down the back straight before they reach the fourth flight. And as they race down the far side, 10 furlongs ahead of them, Early and Pete leads by 3 lengths to Istabraq. And then on the inside, Bust Out, followed by Rostropovich, and 2 lengths to Penny Rich. So they're heading on down the back straight. About a furlong to go before they reach the fourth flight. And Early and Pete, 4 lengths in front. Istabraq, followed by Bust Out and Rostropovich, close behind Istabraq, and then 2 lengths to Penny Rich. Facing up now to the fourth, just outside the halfway point. Early and Pete. Istabraq on the outside of Bust Out, Rostropovich a close fourth, and just behind them Penny Rich. So they've passed halfway, and they're now racing towards the fifth flight, or the fourth from the finish, right across from the stands. 7 furlongs to go. Early and Pete leads by 2.5 lengths. Istabraq a neck in front of both Bust Out and the grey Rostropovich, 2 lengths to Penny Rich. Jumping the flight right across from the stands, it's Early and Pete in the lead. Istabraq 2 lengths off in second, a neck in front of Bust Out, closely attended by Rostropovich, and 2 lengths to Penny Rich. So they go to the third last flight as they race towards the 5 furlong point, heading down the back straight. Early and Pete from Istabraq, Bust Out in third, 2 lengths to Rostropovich, and the same to Penny Rich. So they make the turn out of the back straight and head across with a good run to the second last. And it's Early and Pete with Istabraq, and between horses Bust Out, 2 lengths to Rostropovich pushed along, and Penny Rich just behind them. 2 to jump in the December Festival Hurdle, and Early and Pete and Paul Maloney. Bust Out coming there, Barry Geraghty. Istabraq, Charlie Swan right there on the outside. Rostropovich and Penny Rich, they're tightly grouped now as they race towards the home turn, and Bust Out hits the front from Istabraq in second. Penny Rich has moved into third. Rounding the bend now, taking them into the straight, and on the run towards the final flight, it is Bust Out who's in the lead for Barry Geraghty. 2 lengths in front of Istabraq, who's coming up towards the outside. A couple of lengths to Penny Rich in third. On the run now to the final flight, and Istabraq and Charlie Swan on the near side of Bust Out and Barry Geraghty. They're over the last. Not much between them. Bust Out and Istabraq on the near side. They're neck and neck inside the last 200 yards. And Istabraq on the near side from Bust Out, who's putting up a tremendous battle on the inside. But Istabraq wins the 23rd of his 28 races over hurdles by a narrow margin from Bust Out. They're clear of Penny Rich, Rostropovich, and Early and Pete.